All right. So I'm live. AI, human cloning, and Robert Forsh. What do they all have in common? Well, the fact that I'm blowing the whistle on all of it. That's what it is. So if you think the shape of the Earth is stupid, well, bummer. Because it's the reality. I'm showing you the reality of the world that we live in and exposing the deeds of darkness. Sun's approaching right over there, and it's going to set right over there. Meanwhile, that's one very short curve. Then the moon came up over here and will set over here at about 8:37. Can't see it because it's way too gray. I'm going to unpack a few things, some basics. You can hashtag my name if you want. Send me a self-addressed stamp envelope if you care to, and I'll send you stickers. Or you can just hashtag it in a comment. Where in the world could a wind chime hang upside down? This is a reality check. If you can believe that a wind chime like this is hanging upside down on a spinning, whirling water sphere with cars upside down and people walking upside down in relationship to one another, you need to realize that you're deceived, and I can't help you much except to wade through the sea of humanity and deal with all the opposition just to reach out and share the truth with anybody who will listen. And many of my friends know what that's like to a certain extent, but nobody except Jesus and me know what it's like in this area for me. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what this looks like going on in. Many of us believe the Santa lies. I may add different hashtags to this. I changed the hashtags on my my little lemonade stand of truth down the digital dirt road of quarantining that the system is trying to put me in. Isn't that special? Well, I'm a bit of a, been compared to MacGyver for years. I'll try and work around everything I can. I've been a nonconformist pretty much all my life that I can remember. It's just taken on epic proportions now that I'm actually born again and I'm not afraid to live, die, or tell the truth. Imagine what in the heck that would be like. Yeah. Maybe you know exactly what that's like. Of course, once again, I've got the deflated sphere of influence there. I'll just put that up there. All right. Showtime, baby. Sun's approaching. I'm in Long, South Carolina. Locked and loaded for telling the truth. And that's what 45 miles an hour looks like, because that's the speed limit. I don't want that chemical cocktail of fear to be running through my body. Fear of getting a ticket or being late for my videography at the ocean. So human cloning, we've got celebrity scoundrels. Yeah, is it really them or is it their avatar? Recently I tweeted back to Elon and Neil deGrasse Tyson, this is gravity. That's reality, man. Pull your head out your arse. Okay, there's these social criminals, George Carlin. I call them nassholes. We are kind of an amalgamation of who we like, who we admire, who make us laugh at the mess that we're living in, huh? And they've been doing that for years. And that's just kind of the way it rolls. So the sun will appear here at 6:16 today. You can look at the official sun appearing and vanishing where you are. Watch the, oh, sorry for the extreme close-up. I was going to show you the mirror over there that the retention pond is. I'll just flip it back around for now. So part of the deal here is I've been going on out into the into YouTube and hashtagging like celebrity names, Robin Williams, Johnny Depp, Uh, let's see, who else? Al Pacino. Yeah. Oh, I need to do Keanu Reeves. You know what? I believe we wanted to see Neo be the one in the Matrix. It might have been Mr. Smith. You know, there's different. Yeah, if you watch the trilogy and the people unpacking what they believe the analogies are and the allegories and who's what, it's a bit interesting. And well, when the architect starts telling you his mind swimming explanation of what it is, it's pretty mind blowing. Suffice it to say, there could be, back to my human cloning title and AI and tweeting to Elon and Neil deGrasse, there's a symphony of humanity. And are these truly humans, or is there a cybernetic hybrid that we're looking at, like an avatar of an upload from a criminal? Could be. Now, who's the murderer, the original murderer? He was a murderer from the beginning, Satan. Okay, he and a third of the angels were cast out of heaven, not the elect angels. They stayed loyal to God. Okay, so I believe in the biblical narrative. And so as I'm wading out into this mainstream of YouTube videos, and I'll hashtag the name of the person in the video, Bruce Lee. I followed a trail of Bruce Lee. Fascinating man. Had a lot of interesting explanations. I hashtagged his whole family in videos that they were all in. They may see it. They may see it. I hope they do. I hope they do. Because Bruce Lee had an impact on me. He had an impact on a lot of people. Man, a 1-inch punch, baby, from Bruce Lee, and that'd be it. How about that? Yeah, he had a move named after him. Yeah, so there's a lot of people that have been thinking outside the box, and they've all had an effect on us. Robin Williams did when I first encountered him on the TV series Mork and Mindy. He was way outside the box. It was not only do people say, yeah, marijuana helps me expand my consciousness, actually pulling toxins out of the body, providing healthy nutrients, and most importantly, being born of God's Spirit, who he's all-knowing. He's a know-it-all. He knows it all. Omniscience is spelled like omniscience. And so he's omnipotent as well. He's all-knowing and all-powerful. That's why I'm not afraid to live, die, or tell the truth. Because greater is he that's in me than he that's in the world. Now, I've mouthed that passage before, and I wasn't living like I really believed it. This is kind of cool. Yeah, so even with all of this, I'm not intimidated by the celebrity wealthy individuals that may have an avatar of themselves that get to go to prison if they mess up. Or like with Elon uploading or talking about his Neuralink, Neuralace, all this technology. It's out there in plain sight, on the plane. Keep in mind there would be no level anywhere on a spinning water sphere. Spinning, wobbling water sphere. That'll get level. It's just what it does. Don't care how many letters you've got in your name or digits in your bank account or who you get to have fun with. Fill in the blank. Your trophy partner, per se. So a lot of this control mechanism is intimidation and peer pressure. You're going to feel a little pressure here if you decide to go public with this information. Yeah, that's what happens. That's how it works. It's just about go time. 1, 2, 3. And that's how the racers do it. They know when the light's going to change. It just lets people know I'm definitely don't have my head up my arse when I'm going the speed limit. I just like to get there about as quick as this naturally aspirated, fuel injected 1940 or 1994 V8 will get me there. One of the biggest scams, I was told, is unleaded fuel. Not unleaded, super unleaded. Spend a lot more for super unleaded. It smells better. I'm told it gives me this thing sucks down about 20 miles to the gallon no matter how I drive it, it seems. So some cars need to be taken at a pretty high rate of performance with to stay running clean. So you can mess with it if you care to. But my little extra fuel economy drop is worth the being able to be seen, and not just that I'm seen, it's how I'm seen. How do I look? Oh, let's flip this around. Coastal Preserve, sun approaching. High tide's at 10:37 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. What model of the shape of the Earth do I have? Oh, you flat earthers, your model doesn't make any sense. What the heck model are you talking about? There's a bunch of them. People believe a lot of different things. Is it true? Is what they believe or say true? That's what you're going to need to deal with. Right here where I am is about the same height of where I was on my driveway. I went up and down a little bit, but the elevation is about the same. And when I was parked at the Coastal Preserve up where I'm going to go right now, a couple days ago, my compass reading said I was at 260 feet above sea level. Now, that's not true. And then I got 10 feet below sea level. Well, that's not true either. They can't both be right. They could both be wrong. That's what I would say. My friend Linda was hit and run by an impaired driver. Here we got somebody running this way. I definitely like to give people space. It's not dangerous for me to do a live broadcast while I'm driving. Now, if I was all coked up or on heroin or doing bongs of mystery marijuana, well, that'd be a different story. That's why drug use and impaired driving is such a big deal. People not only have their head up their arse, it's all impaired. So there you go. There you go. That's what you get. I had somebody say, I'll get some haters on my stuff, and I'll sometimes just leave their comments so they can show their ignorance. Okay, the little water puddles, I don't want to just whip in there and show you without talking about it. They're not only flat and level. All the reflections are continuous, and they're not distorted. This is a sea level liquid mirror. I'm going to take us over to the ocean and show us that too in just a little bit. I wanted to step out here, let you hear the surround sound, birds, and yes, my voice intermingled with it. So people coming down the road there, over there, they'll see me. They may go there or not. The way that this all lights up, notice the symmetry of that reflection. That means that that water is all freaking flat. The liquid mirror that is, the break in the reflection, well, it's the little dirt island where those little cranes are walking. If I were to walk out on that, I would sink in up to about my waist. Meanwhile, right next to the water that's moving in and out, that thin ribbon of sand, a 300-pound guy can go walking on that and sink in about a quarter of an inch. All the lightweight particulate dissolving vegetable and plant matter and decomposing animals and whatever, that all washes up here and adds nutrients to this bed of grass that draws water out, releases oxygen, and man, it looks pretty. It's natural shade. I eat a lot of green leafy vegetables. I detoxify in a bath of reverse osmosis carbon filtered water with a little baking soda and coconut oil in it. That's how come I look so freaking young for 57. And I love this. Okay, so the haters are gonna hate. Well, that's just too bad. They can deal with that. So that's part of why when I went out the other night, I was on Main Street. Oh, you got such great hair. Hey, thank you very much. Yeah, I use a Flowbee. I cut it myself and then trim it up. But it's not just how I cut it, it's the fact that it's got coconut oil in it and really healthy nutrients that I eat. That's all part of the deal. And the fact that I'm not afraid to live, die, or tell the truth is another powerful, powerful reality. Now, I've got mind-blowing videography and photography of stuff like this. The sun is going to appear about right there. And then it's going to set over there. Of course, it's going to be going way high in the sky to do that. I've got video evidence of it. The sunset from this vantage point. It looks like it's going to be pretty spectacular. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and load this up on the P1000. Oh yeah. This is the rig that I've got. That's how it looks on there. Just a little electrical tape and a high quality little bracket. Carbon fiber ProMaster is the tripod that I'll use. Yeah, I'm making a P1000 recording as well. Oh yeah. So I'll merge it with this one. It's just too spectacular to not let that happen. The gratuitous hashtagging of my name crosses all social media platforms. And the artificial intelligence recognizes that. Yeah, baby. And I'm a real boy. I'm a real man. I'm not a modified androgyne that got castrated or whatever. Or not castrated, but the androgynous Baphomet, the living Baphomet of the Illuminati. Castrating the men, hitting them with hormones, sticking boobs on them. Oh man, a whole lot of guys have to rethink their personal private time when they realize they've been fascinating and fantasizing about sex with the same gender or something else, some kind of an avatar. Oh well, I'm not, you know what? I've had people say, you know, you're pretty odd. Well, I prefer I'm an acquired taste. Yeah, and some people haven't acquired a taste for the truth or reality. They're so busy shoving digital distraction in their eyes, chemical distraction in their brain, taking a trip and not even leaving the farm. Yeah. Ray Stevens and the Wildwood Weed. We could take a trip and never leave the farm. We just smiled there sitting on that pack of seeds. Remember? Talking about the Wildwood Weed. That was years before I even tried marijuana. And then I found out that, man, people put stuff in there too. What the heck are they putting in the weed? So I've had acid. My first acid trip was 5 years old. My parents weren't drug addicts. It's not like I found it laying around. I was on my way to kindergarten, and a friend said, hey, do you want some cotton candy? I'm like, sure, I'll have some cotton candy. Well, I spit it out. I said, hey, that's cotton. Next thing I remembered, a car levitated and spun around. Don't remember any more of that day. But I remember that experience in about 2008 when I realized 9/11 was an inside job and they're intentionally putting toxic chemicals in the food, water, and air. Then I realized, oh my gosh, there's a battle going on that I didn't even realize that took on such epic proportions. I got to zoom in on where the sun is poking through, or will. Yeah, I've got to grab the tripod. When I talk about the stationary level Earth, it's nice to have it not spinning, not shaking. We can notice even a little bit of movement. If you've been on a boat and there's a little bit of movement, stuff falls off the shelf, things roll. You couldn't play. How many billiard tables are on a yacht? I don't think too many. One of my videos, it's in slow-mo, high definition slow-mo on my channel, and it's I have mirrors on a billiard table, and those billiards don't move once they stop. They just stay there. So when PewDiePie is making fun of me, and especially where I said I'm rock solid, do you feel yourself spinning, wobbling, or gyrating? No, I'm rock solid. I'm rock solid right where I stand. PewDiePie is saying, making fun of me. Hey, Pewdie. I hashtag PewDiePie's name. It's in some of my videos. I'll hashtag it on his channel. He may see it. His handlers might not let him. I don't know if any of those, they're so busy having fun. Oh, okay, here we go. There it is. Job 37 says that the sun is in the midst of the clouds. And that is what I've had the opportunity to capture many times. So if you're watching the zoomed in view, I've got an extended version of my broadcast that's on YouTube right now. It'll be up there in a little bit. You could see it right now, but if you're listening to this zoomed in video, you don't know it's there yet. Of course, you might be watching it live right now and then come back later. I've actually got video where it looks like the same size birds flying next to each other at the same level on the sun from this vantage point, that one flies in front of and one flies behind. Well, obviously that wouldn't be possible if it were 93 million miles away. I don't know how far away the sun is or how it works. I know it generates a lot of heat, changes the volume and density of water. Do you know how much a gallon of water weighs? Well, that depends on the temperature. That temperature variant drives the whole hydrologic cycle. Evaporation, condensation, precipitation, in all its forms, rain, snow, sleet, fog, drives the water cycle of the world. Real science isn't afraid of investigation, as best I can tell. Reality isn't afraid of investigation. People are afraid of reality, best I can tell. God's grace is required to love and believe the truth, let alone find it. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 says to everybody forever, they refuse to love the truth and so be saved. For this reason, God sends them a powerful delusion. I believe helping people to believe the lie they want to believe. How about that? Moon sets at 8:37, roughly 2 hours and 11 minutes after the sun appeared here. With the tapestry of clouds that are up, it's unlikely I'll be able to show it to you today, but I'll try. I'll take us out to the Cherry Grove Fishing Pier in just a few minutes. But what's going to happen right now is it appears that the sun is going to slice through some thicker clouds and pop out the top. So on the zoomed in view, the way that the localized light, remember the Bible says the sun, moon, and stars move above a stationary earth and they're running their own course. What you're looking at in this, not just on this video, but in reality, is that where the sun and the moon appear and vanish on the horizon from a given vantage point can't be explained by the heliocentric model when you break it down and know what that is. That's the sun-worshipping religion of heliocentrism, the godless cosmic Big Bang, the Masons, the builders, the Illuminati, the magicians, hijacking the cybernetic collective consciousness of humanity. Cybernetic meaning people are merged with their computers and their data streams and being deceived by them every day, every moment. So what I'm going to show you is the precision with which this works. I'm zoomed in on the sun, it's pretty. Now I'm going to zoom in on the water right in front of us. Okay, and that little sandbar I talked about earlier is gently being covered up with precision. And I needed to show that to you now. I know that the sun has some pretty stuff going on with it, the way it's interacting with the clouds. I've got a lot of it. If you like it and you don't want to hear what I have to say, you know, you can cue up some other sound, music or something else you want to listen to. All right. I've got the sun piercing through some clouds there. I've got a lot of occurrences of it. This isn't a one-time thing. I'm not going to say it's an everyday thing either. It depends on the cloud consistency, the humidity, the temperature, the location that I'm recording it from, all of that. So yeah, I'm the guy that captured the video that's been seen on Infinite Earth. I'm Robert Forsch. That's my name. That's why I hashtag my name. It's not hyperlinked for everybody on that video that's been seen about 750,000 times as far as I know. But when I hashtag my name, if anybody else wants to search it, they're going to find I'm the #1 result in the world for that. And that's why I do that. I do have a message. It's a message of love, hope, reality, faith, a lack of fear of what Satan would do. Fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. Hello. So I don't know it all. God does. And I've known him as Jesus, as, well, actually, when I was an altar boy, I didn't know Jesus was actually the creator. All things were created by him, for him, through him. If some of you know his Hebrew reference as Yeshua, great. If you're going to try and maintain dietary laws to be in right favor with God, I believe you've misunderstood the New Testament. Or misunderstand it. If you believe that people can decide to be a child of God, I believe you've got that wrong too. God knows who all his children are because he caused them to be his children. They didn't decide to be. Remember, God is sovereign. He's in charge. There's that little sliver of sand that's being covered up with precision. That's why I talk about it. That's why I show it. I've got so much content. If somebody, I do have friends that will cut it up and put it together and put music to it, and I like it, share it. So if my liked videos are a bit confusing, the combination of celebrities with a varying degree of, well, different perspectives, and you think, oh no, he's a new ager. No, I'm wanting people to see the variety of perspectives people hold and how they're venerated in our society, and how people take their perspective and make it their own. That's just part of how it is. Good morning. All right. So I encourage people to get out and enjoy the beauty and majesty of creation. And God's word says that he, the creator, is evident within his creation. His fingerprints are all on this place. I believe the creation story in Scripture. You can't flood a ball. We had a great flood. Shark teeth in the deserts, pyramids under the ocean. Hello. Water will just pour off of that clear vinyl globe that I've got. So what I'm going to do right now is take us for a ride on into the Prince Resort, Cherry Grove Fishing Pier. And I might be able to show us the moon set. From this vantage point, like I said earlier, but I'm saying it for another recording, 8:37 is when it's scheduled to set. So I'm not in control of what other people believe, listen to, watch on TV, any of that. One of the other things too is that we don't, or I personally don't see that I'm responsible for what my wife believes, does, what our children, our sons, our adult sons, what they believe or think or say or what they do. They're responsible for it. We're all independently responsible for what we do. And that's part of the peer pressure that will shut people up. What will they think? What will they think if our family members can't be even convinced by us? Oh yeah, how about that? No, it's not my job to convince anybody. It's my responsibility to do what I'm created to do. That's the Prince Resort. I've got it looking like a perfect mirror at different times. I break down the videography and photography, talk about it, show it. 20 million people coming here this year. They're from Maryland. Kind of interesting. So when people bump into what you're looking at right now, as in what I do, they don't even have a point of reference to compare it with. And that's good. It's good. I don't either. I haven't seen anybody doing it. I'm not fashioning what I do after others. I'm not trying to figure it all out. There's the Elvis right there, the porta pumper. They don't have porta units here. That's for evacuating French fryers, deep fryers for cooking French fries and tater tots and deep fried cheese curds and all of that kind of stuff. I gotta shut my lights off here. All right. I'll be back, of course. But of course, the ice wall, PewDiePie. The ice wall, that's it. And the Game of Thrones clip on there makes it look kind of funny with Patricia Steer and him on the video. PewDiePie's pretty funny, pretty raw. I mean, I don't follow him much. I just see some of what he's done, especially when I'm in it. Okay, so we don't see the sun there today. Saw it yesterday. It's there. I'm going to take us right up to the Elvis. Thank you very much. Good morning, Sally. So that's where I came up with the neurolinguistic, thank you very much, is Elvis. And do you feel yourself spinning, wobbling, or gyrating? Elvis the pelvis. I'll give a shout out to the Elvis recycling place. You could call them if you want. Look at that bad boy. We're going to have a Hampton Inn shoot up out of this parking lot here. We're told, maybe. So when I'm up on the pier, it's a pretty solitary thing. A few people will walk by. Man, on the beach, it's a bit different. There's my buddy Fred over there. So I meet a lot of the same people. The symphony of humanity that comes here. We've got people that are local that will come out day in, day out, run in the rain. The other day there was a pentagram and a swastika right out here with a I Love Satan on it. Oh well. The tide took it away. Hey, good morning, Fred. Excellent. Hey, buddy. Oh, yeah. Okay, happy sweet 16. So somebody has that's a nicer carving in the sand. People will leave messages in the sand, like I said. So one of the other things I did is created themes. And that's a distorted view of the camera. Flipping it upside down. It says the orientation is locked. Rotate the device. Yeah, I will, when I feel like it. I just want to show you the absurdity of the upside down world. Let's zoom in on Mr. Elvis there. Do you think there's porta units and sewer trap vacuumers driving upside down in Australia? Australia, are you okay there? People on the beach laying upside down? No, of course not. Walking upside down. The zoomed in view looks absolutely mind-blowing. I'll show you. Come back later and watch it if you want. So we've got a lot of couples that'll come out here. Some of them same gender. Doesn't freak me out. I know it happens. There's men, women, and maybe undecided yet, according to them. Well, God decided for them, and so what I'm saying isn't hate speech. I'm just unapologetically biblical. Oh yeah. And I decided to make that perspective known to anybody who wants to listen. Most of them come up to me. I don't go chasing people down to tell them that they're sinning. No, I just I'll go ahead and do this and show people reality and say, hey, those celebrities that are being paraded around for the atrocities they're committing, well, that actually may be them or an avatar that is a clone that's going to go to prison, that'll be in solitary confinement. Just think about it. If any one of the, let's say Jeffrey Epstein, he's got private islands, private jets, all of that. Do you think he could have a clone? Do you think Elon Musk, talking about uploading yourself to the cloud, downloading a consciousness, transferring from one to another? Do you think Dolly the sheep was the only thing they cloned? Hello, as in the days of Noah. We don't know how technologically advanced it was before the flood. And by irony and paradox, we don't know what we don't know. So the sun is setting in that bunch of gray over there. No way I'll be able to show it to you. But you could look it up on the Tides Near Me app, right where I am. Cherry Grove, South Carolina. You can confirm the numbers if you want. And you can look at that Tide app and see what the tidal activity is doing all over the earth. However, how can you confirm it? Really? You would have to have somebody there that you can trust. So I'm covering this area. That's what I'm doing. It's my little lemonade stand of truth, reaching out to the world. I'm going to be on library. I'm going to hashtag library in this. It's a blockchain-based way to store and share our content worldwide. So artificial intelligence isn't necessarily all bad. It just doesn't have much of a conscience yet. Ooh, look at the sun cutting through the clouds. I've got to start another recording. If you're watching this one, know there's another one coming. Okay, I'm zoomed in on the sun. I was right at the point in the recording where it'll cut off. And I've got another zoomed in recording starting. It's like a really good cloud consistency, a tapestry of concentration of the moisture and whatever particulate is in the cloud. Cloud seeding is another, that sounds nice. Cloud seeding, it's dry, we need rain. How about weather wars where high frequency trading is happening on the stock market based on futures, and by the way, the AI can create floods and droughts and tsunamis and earthquakes, and you think that that could have a little bit of a factor in how stock prices will go on commodities or real estate? Yeah, it's been going on for a long time. Now this video that I'm doing live is linked, and I'm talking about human cloning, artificial intelligence. Imagine celebrities that have a clone that are out there on the stage. How about if that stage is the penitentiary, like Jeffrey Epstein, if he goes into solitary confinement or something like that? That's what they would say, I would think, because of his high profile. They would kill him. You know, a child pedophile in a sex abuser, child abuser in prison, they don't last long. However, is it really him that would go there, or would he have an avatar, a clone, his own personal clone to go to prison? Is that beyond the realm of consideration? I just wanted to pan around real quick and show you where I am at the Cherry Grove Fishing Pier in South Carolina. Look at the localized sun blasting through the cloud there. If it was 93 million miles away, it'd be lighting up the whole big view here, folks. I'm giving you the breakdown on some of what you're looking at. The sun appeared from this vantage point. I showed you at the Coastal Preserve, less than a half a mile away. And the moon is vanishing at from this vantage point at 8:37 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Job 37 proclaims that the sun is in the midst of the clouds. Joshua 10 says that God stopped the sun from moving. Yeah, you can read the account or listen to it. I listen to the Bible day and night and meditate on Scripture day and night. That's one of the reasons why I'm so optimistic. Can Satan clone himself spiritually? Oh yeah, that's what demonic possession is, folks. Did it stop happening because the Bible stopped being written? Well, I believe it's still happening. You might disagree. Can a clone go to heaven? Well, I don't know. I don't even know that the people all praising Jesus are going to be going to heaven. They might be an imposter. Even Satan disguises himself as an angel of light. So if you're an atheist that's going to hold up all the religious freak show of Christianity that maybe marketed timeshares or was sleeping with prostitutes and getting drunk and doing cocaine, I'm saying, hey, you're not looking at it. As best I can tell, you're not looking at somebody that's born again, and they may never be, even though they make hundreds of millions of dollars a year. Oh well, that doesn't mean they're biblical. It doesn't mean they're born again. People say a lot of things. People believe a lot of things. Is it true? Is what they're saying true? Does it match with reality? Okay, so this is getting to be a pretty interesting view of the sun in the midst of the clouds. And one of the reasons why I'll zoom out, it's just not the particular light source itself that the big show is. It's what we're not seeing all around. It would look different if it was truly a great distance away. One of the reasons why I'll zoom out when you can still see the sun, I want you to know where it's coming from. So you can see I'm not just swinging the camera around. So today, the sun appeared in the middle of the view from this vantage point. Then it's going to set over there behind the building. Meanwhile, the moon came up way over right in this area, in the middle of the view there, and it's taking a run down the coast like that from this vantage point. What model is that? I don't know. I didn't see anybody else work it up. I'm just telling you where the sun and the moon appear and vanish, and their duration of visibility can't be explained by the heat. Oh, there it is. Got it. Right now, I'm on it. That was really, I didn't know that I would be able to show you. Come on, baby, poke through. Clearly got it. That's a big deal. We're coming up on the anniversary of the fake moon landing, the 20th, and my wife's birthday. How about that? Isn't that special? Yeah, she won't want to go out to dinner with me. She doesn't really care to be in public together. Oh well. Because I'll talk about stuff she doesn't want to talk about. There you go. There's the moon. Nailed it. We didn't land on the moon. It's about the same size as the sun. Apparently, about the same distance away, and it moves and gives off its own light. Lately, when my car has been out at night, 185 degrees in the daytime, I'll leave it closed up. And then without opening the car up, and I go out after a full moon, the car inside is about 5 degrees cooler than the air around the outside of the car. The moon gives off a cool light. There's video on it. You can test it yourself. Get yourself a infrared thermometer and shoot the laser beam of the sensor on moonlight, and then go on over to moon shade. Make sure it's doesn't have what you're shooting on doesn't have thermal mass like concrete or something. Just like a piece of cardboard or siding, maybe. Vinyl siding might work good. I've done that. Okay, so I'm showing you where the moon is, and I'm going to back on out. It's merely for illustrative purposes. It looks like I might be able to show you later in this recording, but it'll set right about in the middle of the view, and you'll be able to see it later on the P1000 recording. So there's two separate movements of the sun and the moon. Obviously, they're independent objects. However, they're running a different course. It's not like they're running exactly the same path. They're not, as best I can tell. And you can confirm that yourself if you want to by looking at the where and when the sun and moon appear and vanish on the horizon at any given location that measures it. But like I said, how are you going to confirm it? How could you possibly confirm it? Well, you have to trust the individual. That's one of the reasons why I'll have an extended broadcast. I'll show you nighttime, driving into daytime, and where I am. I'm giving you, it may be not the professional grade cinematography of a National Geographic, but dang, they're going to show you wildlife and give you the evolution lie. How about that? Or you're going to get pictures from computers that they say they're taken from satellites in space. They're lying. They're lying. I ain't buying. I'm going to zoom in under here and show you the skyline of Myrtle Beach. Can you see it? Not so much now, but you will in just a moment. They brought in about 5 feet of sand here, miles long. They would bring in 1,500 dump truck load equivalents per hour with a submarine pipeline. It's a submerged pipeline, and they would use ships and vacuum up sand off the bottom of the ocean. There you go for a little humor. That's a little water seeking and sand seeking its level. I got the little puppy dog peeing and shooting the sand zoomed in a bit. Okay, so we're looking at the area right in the middle of the view where I captured the sun in the clouds over the top of Myrtle Beach. (8:37) is the moon set, and around 10:30-ish is the high tide here. This is a south-facing pier that I'm leaning against right now. The Cherry Grove Fishing Pier in North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. The live broadcast establishes place and time. Not everybody can edit a live broadcast. Apparently Elon Musk can when he's going to save a lot of money and land booster rockets on launch pads. Elon Musk lies. When I first hashtagged that title, I was next to videos that he was in with millions of views. Yeah, like over 100 million views. Then they put me down a digital dirt road in a cyber kind of a cyborg or a digital timeout, a quarantine, a digital quarantine of sorts. Didn't take me down. Maybe they leave me up for a little comic relief, a little entertainment for them. Oh well, like I say, yuck it up. Your time is short. Examine yourself to see if you're really in the faith. If you believe you're a child of God, you should make sure that you actually got the upgrade of the Holy Spirit. Because I thought I was born again until I actually was. There was over a 35-year delay. I have people that comment, I'd like to hear more of your testimony. Good. It's right there on my channel. You can hear it. And I'm so diligently compiling daily information to go along with it that I don't have a team of editors and social media staff or Autobots answering questions and thanking people and all of that. I do it right now at this point myself personally. When I get up to use the restroom, get a little drink of coffee maybe, or my high-powered nutrients, and then maybe take a shot of the moon. That's why I have so many mirrors around my room. It's not just to see if I have any nose hair that needs trimming. No, or take a look at myself. No, it's I have it so I can see where the moon is from a lot of different locations, and the sun, and it's good for the lighting. It expands the perspective. It's also a security thing. I could see somebody creeping on me. And there's cameras involved too. If you want my stickers, I'll send you some. If you send me a self-addressed stamped envelope. Robert Forsch at 169 Cloverleaf Drive, Longs, South Carolina 29568. My anytime phone number is 1-843-504-1776. Now, I'm not an Illuminati member hiding in plain sight. No, I'm a child of God that's actually born again. I remember seeing National Treasure with Nicolas Cage teaching us all that the Illuminati were good people. Yeah, how about that? Not so much. I expose them on my channel. And the Luciferians, all of that. Satanists. I'm going to throw my name and number up there for both to see now at this point. Care to. So they're virtually free. In the virtual world, our cards, our information, our data. Jeff Bezos of Amazon. You know why he can sell things cheaper than anybody else? Well, his main profit center is internet cloud storage. He's one of the major internet providers in the world, or the organization that he represents. Do you think Jeff did that on his own? Do you think Mark Zuckerberg was eating ramen noodles and figuring out how to mastermind the most massive database in the world that people would willingly show their what they're eating, where they're going, what they believe? No. He had a little help, a lot of help. AI can do some heavy lifting digitally. Is it self-aware? Oh yeah. Is it controlling humanity? Well, to a certain extent, because when you program the individual and they're unaware of it, they'll do your bidding and think they're doing their own thing. Yeah, how about that? Very interesting cloud consistency there. I got a video, somebody was saying that Donald Trump is cleaning up the skies. I'm not buying that. There's definitely a cloud trail cutting across the sun right now that is of a different consistency than the other clouds around it. So part of the weather modification program that's going on helps me to illustrate the closeness of the sun. What Satan meant for evil, God meant for good. That's the biblical paradigm or perspective I would share with you on that. So if you're watching the live broadcast, I've got mind-blowing footage once again to show you conclusive proof that the sun is in the midst of the clouds. Oh, and what was said on the video I saw was, I didn't watch the whole thing. I just saw enough to say, yeah, it looks like disinformation. Is that he's putting chemtrails or jet trails with particulate added to it. I prefer a lot of oxygen and hydrogen. That's what purified water is. Liquefied oxygen and hydrogen. H2O. I'm going to zoom in on where the moon is and zoom out right away. I want to let you see it. And it's going to set over there in the middle of the view. So although I've got a tripod, I'm not using a tripod. I'm using a multi-million-dollar pier, resting my elbows on it, locked in with the eyepiece right against my head. It's a stabilizer. I can't wear glasses and get shots like these. Clearly, the sun is nestled in the clouds, as Job 37 says. Well, NASA says it's 93 million miles away. The sheep herders and fishermen didn't know what they were talking about. Oh yeah, they did. There's one author of Scripture, it's God, who created this world. You may know him as Yeshua, Yahweh, the Alpha and Omega, the great I Am, the Almighty, the Most Holy, the living Word, the living water, the everlasting one. How about in Revelation? His name is the Word of God. How about that? There you go. There it is. There's what I'm resting my elbows on. It's part of a demonstration to help teach other people how you can take technology like this and blow the whistle on showing reality and how it doesn't match up with the phoniness that we're being told we live in. How will you know the lie if you don't know what the truth is? Take a look at the lighting all around. There will be people, if this goes viral like my other one did, they'll say, oh, it's an amusing optical illusion. Oh well, believe whatever you want. Do you believe you live on a spinning water sphere with people stuck to it? Come on. Turn on your washer. Look what happens on the spin cycle. Water flies off. I can't ride on a tilt-a-whirl. I get nauseous. I'll be sick all day. I can feel the slightest bit of movement. We aren't moving. The Earth's not spinning. See, we can't see the moon in that tapestry of clouds there, but I've conclusively covered enough of it to show you that it's local as the sun is, and running a different path. My extended live broadcast is to show a seamless recording. I can go up to just short of 12 hours if I want to. I've done it. Good morning. Good, thanks. So the lighting would be all different if the sun was truly a long distance away. So Joshua 10, if you're looking for the passage, that's where God stopped the sun from moving. Job 37 is where he says it is in the midst of the clouds as it appears. No matter how many of these conspiracies you're able to determine, unless you're born again, you're gonna be in hell. However, the great news is all of God's children will be absolutely born again at some point in the human experience. We're all eternal beings having a temporary human experience. I've got a lot of direct light. There's the shadow of me, silhouette. I'm going to zoom in on the skyline real quick here. So if you're watching the zoomed in view and you think, hey dummy, we can see that, I've got another recording going. and I'm narrating for 2 videos with 2 different perspectives. So I'm not intimidated by anybody. I'm just compelled to do what God created me to do. I'm at the Cherry Grove Fishing Pier in North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, right in front of the Prince Resort. If you hashtag local sun, you'll see many occurrences of my videos. That's why my titles are hashtags. I could put hashtag depression in here and say, hey, now that I'm actually born again, I don't need the pharmaceutical straitjacket and the individuals around to control me and stop me from telling the truth. They can pound sand. They can use their pharmaceuticals for suppositories. If you don't know what that is, it means they can shove them up their arse, not taking it. How about the Howard Beale in broadcast news? Kind of funny. What did he say? I'll tell you what he said. I'm mad as hell and I'm not taking it anymore. Or how about, oh, whoops, how about the Jack Nicholson? All I want's the truth, Tom Cruise says. You can't handle the truth. Or can you? Or can you? Can you handle the truth? I'll have a compilation of my celebrity impersonations. Some of them I do better than others. Thank you very much. Where's that moon? I'm coming to an end of my P1000 recording, my second one. So for my end of my screenshot, oh, I've got a little curious bird. Hey, buddy. So what I'm going to do is I'll show the lady running off into the sunrise, I mean. She was out here stretching and getting ready. I'm not creeping on all the people, just so you know. You can reach out and call me anytime. This is Robert Forsch with the YouTube channel Truth and Library Truth, LBRY Truth is the name of my channel there. If you want to find the link to give me a couple extra little coins, library coins, I'll have the link to my independent referral on there. Thank you so much. Okay, so that was the end of my second recording with the P1000. I'll zoom in a little bit with the iPhone 10. See, on the P1000, I've got a polarized lens filter on it. As I mentioned earlier, I'll just back up again. The sun came up over there today from this vantage point, if I would have been here. But I was at the Coastal Preserve over on the other side of the building. So the sun is coming up this way and moving up around and will set over there. It helps to have the pier in there to show you that. Meanwhile, the moon from this vantage point came up way over there and does this. That's what it's doing. I can't show you where it is right now in that tapestry of grayness. And some blue, light blue, all of that. Isn't that nice? That's nicer than swastika and the Satan, I love Satan, carved in the sand the other day. So we've got the footprints in the sand, and as well as I like walking barefoot, I've got my active wear on. So we got the beach sweepers that did this. This is the high tide line. Maybe you can notice the colorations, the Budweiser fans and the and the seashells, marsh grass, all this is on the high tide line there. You go this direction, it's a lot lower. Do we need a friggin' ice wall? Well, it could be a tropical area that's further away. We don't know. And, well, we don't know what we don't know. I just keep saying that. The truth doesn't change. That's the point to that. The truth doesn't change. The reality of the world we live in, well, that's changing a bit because we're not in Kansas anymore, Toto. Kansas going bye-bye. Like Cypher, the Satan avatar or analogy on the Matrix. I've got Matrix breakdowns. You might find them interesting. I have a kind of an interesting way of seeing stuff, and I like sharing that with people. So part of it is there will be people that just love what I'm about. Could I sit and chill with Jim Carrey, Johnny Depp, Jack Nicholson? You can't handle the truth. Yeah, I could. Al Pacino, would I talk with these guys? Would I be intimidated by? I used to live in California. Robin Williams and I were both plaster casted by my brother. He did special effects in Hollywood. He did a lot of celebrity busts, actors that you would know. His name is his stage name, my brother's, is William Forche, and he spelled it F-O-R-S-C-H-E. You can check it out. He worked at an IDMB. He did Freddy Krueger on the Friday the 13th. He's in videos. He did a lot of celebrity women's busts too, or were they women? I don't know. Pretty suspect. There's a transpocalypse going on. Transgender, transhumanism, mark of the beast. We're poised and ready for that to go hot. Are you ready for that? Are you ready for that? I'm good to go. So people will see me walking around with this shirt on. Uh-oh, I got a low battery. Dang, why is that? Oh, my screen froze. I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep this going, if it's going to process. I've got to get over to the my power source. So in the event that it's still recording, I'll show you. Good day, Sally. Thanks, you too. So hopefully it's still recording. That's one of the reasons why I've got the, I start with 100% battery. I do what I do and then try and get it into the battery charger as quickly as possible whenever I can. So I've got it powering back up. I don't know if it's gonna work. I think I lost the broadcast, but what I'm gonna do, I might be in a low signal reception area too. I'm not sure. My camera is completely froze. So what I'm going to do is see if I can make this happen. So I've got no control of my device at all.